Here's the guy. He sells out his concerts. His films and record albums have received a lot of acclaim. And what more can we say? Then the Dice Man is here. He's in effect Andrew Dice Clay.
Hey, we're gonna sit down. We're gonna sit down. All right, where do you sit? Where do you sit?
Right here. This is great.
Beautiful. How are you?
This is it.
How's my face looking, right?
It's looking great.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
I know.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Now, Andrew,
Yeah, talk.
you don't you don't look like the type of guy who just had a baby, but you got little Max, 1 month old.
1 month old, eh? Yeah. Well, when I put in the order, you know, a boy is what I ordered, so, you know, it was no shocker. You know, because she does what I tell her normally, you know. It's a whole different world. You know, it was a whole different world. I mean, I was there for the delivery room.
You were in the whole
Oh,
thing?
yeah. But I was a little different. You know, I'm different like that. You know, it's like I said to her, you know, there's another guy that's going to be looking over there. You know what I mean? I said, so why don't you put on like some garters, you know, some heels? Let's give him the show. You know what I mean? Kids are great. You'll love it. Kids are great. You know, but you know, you know, because he is a guy and he's like me, you know. And the other day, I'm coming home a little early, you know.
Right.
And I walk in. I'll try to say this as nice as I can.
Say it whatever way you want.
And I find his mouth attached to her breast. Know what I mean?
I got it. They call that breastfeeding.
So I said, yeah, whatever it is, you know. You know, to me, it's another thing, you know. And I say, hey, honey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
What's the matter with you, right? She goes, I'm feeding them. There's milk in these, right? So I said, well, pour me a glass. I'm going to get the cookies. Yeah. But it's great. It really is.
Now, what if Max had been a girl? Like, okay, now.
Well, you know, breastfeeding's breastfeeding, you know.
10 years from now, would you want your daughter to really listen and see what you do, or would you?
Yeah, why not? I'm a funny guy. You know, I mean, I know how to bring a kid up. I mean, I've taught him millions of things already, you know? It's like the other day, he took a poop on the bed, right? So now I've had dogs since I'm a little kid. So I know what to do. I take his face, I push it in there. You know, he ain't gonna do that no more.
Stop it.
Nah, I'm just goofing. I kicked him off the bed, you know.
Well, let me ask you about your childhood, though. I mean, where did you grew up in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
What was your parents' relationship like?
What do you mean?
I mean, like with your dad and your mom?
No, it's a very close-knit family, you know, everybody's real close.
So your dad, towards your mom, really wasn't like the character, or not the character, but the comedy that you do toward.
No, what do you think? You came home and, you know, so get over here, you know. No, we're a very tight family, you know. They come to all my shows, they dig it. My mother writes half the jokes, you know. No, she don't write the jokes.
Come on.
Idiot.
You just signed in Vegas. Way to go.
Yeah, we just made the biggest deal in the history of Las Vegas.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
what do you expect? I'm the biggest comic to ever live. No, it's at Bally's Hotel, and the next time I'm going to be there is this New Year's.
Right.
So, and there's a lot of excitement. I love Las Vegas, you know. It's got that excitement. You know?
Elvis had the big deal. Sinatra had the big deal. This is right up with those deals. Though.
Well, it's the biggest deal ever, though. You know, I don't know.
So, like your leather jacket will have its own room and the whole thing.
It should. It costs enough. But I got to do to entertain you people.
The They came to see you, though. I'm telling you, man. I mean, when I walked out here, let me get something out of the way. What is the deal? What is the deal about Sam Kinison? I mean, there was a little run-in. Let's hear.
No, it wasn't with me. What happened was he called me and begged me to open for me, and I work alone. That's the way, you know. I mean, Noodles Levenstein opens for me now. You know, Noodles.
Right.
So one night at the Comedy Store, I wasn't there, and Hot Tub Johnny West was there. You know, the guy that works for me. You met Johnny.
Wait a minute, John, you're not talking about that like...
Yeah, the guy with the black hair, Hot Tub Johnny.
130 pounds or whatever?
138 pounds, right? Now, Sam weighs 355 pounds.
Right.
You know, he's a big fat pig. And, no, well, he knows. Don't cheer him. He'll eat more. So he starts this fight with Johnny, you know, and he's going, well, what are you going to do if I hit you? So Johnny goes, well, you touch me and we'll see what happens, right? So Sam grabs his throat, and Johnny's like, oh yeah, you holding my, bing, 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 right? So Blubbo hits the floor, right? So now he jumps on Reverend Rump's back, and he rips that dirty rag that he wears on his head off his head, right? He rips it right off his head, and he's totally bald from the ears up. Yeah, did I mention that? Totally bald from the ears up.
Don't hold back, guys.
And now Sam's friends are trying to jump on Johnny, but Johnny's dragging him to the bathroom. Know what I mean? Understand?
Got it.
Gets him in the bathroom, right? And there's a mirror there. And he's going, tell me what you see, Sam. Tell me what you see. And Sam's going, I'm Bozo! I'm Bozo the Clown! But you see,
now,
I don't go for that because that's bully stuff, you know? Right. You got a beef with me, you come to me. But when he sees me, he runs. You know, but Johnny weighs 138 pounds.
So Johnny...
And he weighs 355. Did I mention that? Enough about him. It's over. He's over.
Is it? And you haven't spoken to him since?
No. He's playing a toilet and something. You know, it's over. You know, you know, I don't like to talk about him too much because, you know, he's like, you know, he's a horrible person. He liked to rip me apart, and I was like a gentleman. But you pick on Johnny, we live like this. Know what I mean? You know.
Johnny.
Yeah. Johnny's with me 20 years.
He has? You've known him for 20 years? You went to high school together?
Yeah, the whole thing. We're both morons.
Rodney Dangerfield. Let me bring up somebody. Now, at one end of the scale, you talk about Sam Kinison. I guess, where in the scale would Rodney Dangerfield be?
Well, Rodney's all different. Rodney gave me the shot on his show. You know, Nothing Goes Right. And that's the first time I did my stand-up on HBO. And from there on, it was smooth sailing. I mean, he did it for me. You know, he's unbelievable.
When you're looking over what he did, what did he do, though? I mean, what did he say to you?
Well, basically, he had the guts to say, I want you on my show. I know what you do, and I dig it, and I think it's funny. Right. And I did 8 minutes on his show.
That's when it's racism, buddy.
What?
We're tired of hearing from people like you. Why do you have
So what are you doing here, snap ahead? What are you doing here? Come on, just because I didn't go out with you, you don't got to get crazy. Come on, why don't you turn your teeth in backwards and bite your throat? Do us all a favor. Oh, man. Come on, you did good. I'll give you the $10 later.
Do you get a lot of that?
No. Yeah, I know. And look at you. At least I get paid to be an imbecile. You know what I'm saying?
This is great.
Hey, go scratch your ass. You know, I'll tell you something.
Let's talk about that.
I'll tell you something. I love being a comedian.
Do you realize how easy you make it? I just have to sit here and watch what goes on.
Oh, it's fun. You know, that's what makes the act interesting. I mean, all this stuff, I mean, that's nonsense, you know.
Well, does that happen in your act? That's happened before because obviously you had enough comebacks to
it doesn't happen too much. You know, when I do it like in concert, you know, these people are paying to come see me and do that with me. These guys are like mad that I tell jokes, you know. And I tell jokes about everybody. You know, that's the bottom line. And I think that I should have the right to tell jokes about everybody. You know, because that, you know, I just think, you know, we live in the greatest country in the world, and you know, to be repressed, to be told you can't do this. I mean, I had to cancel a show in Dallas because they said they locked me up for obscenity. I mean, well, other countries are opening their doors and saying, do whatever you want now. You express yourself. We're closing ours, and that's not right. You know. And especially the fact that I am a comic, you know.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm a comedian, you know. That's, you know.
How is your...
That's what I think.
Andrew, how is your... You know, when you go and you get behind the closed doors with your lady and your baby, how is that Andrew Dice Clay different from what we just saw talking there with everybody?
Well, obviously, you know, what I do in an act is an act. You know, what I do with my girlfriend, which you know what we did, is done a lot more tenderly than, you know, what I talk about on stage, you know. I talk about things that do go on, but, you know.
We saw what you do, and we've seen what you do so many times. How did you become a comedian, though? I mean, I know how people become doctors. I know
well, you
how
got to be
people
funny. Know what I mean?
I know that, but I mean...
No, you gotta be funny, and you gotta commit to it, and...
This act that you... This style that you do now didn't just happen, though. It evolved over... Did you try different things first?
I mean, any comic that starts out, if you just start doing comedy today, 10 years from now, you're gonna be different. You know, because you get older, you learn more things, you see more things. I mean, look what I saw tonight. That's 10 minutes in the act now. You know? I mean, you know, and that's what I live off of. I mean, living in Hollywood, you do see the kinds of girls I talk about on stage. Doesn't mean every woman is like that, you know, or, you know, when I pick on, you know, foreigners, I mean, that's fun stuff. You know, I think it's funny, you know?
And they've been picking...
I mean, I've gone through this over and over again.
Right.
You know?
And it just gets tiring to...
Yeah, I mean, I do my thing, you know. I'm playing all over. I sell out coliseums.
It's
you know.
so tiring. You have the biggest contract they ever offered to anybody ever to play Vegas. And that's just so tiring.
That's real tiring.
And
what gets tiring is this kind of thing. I mean, I could rip anybody apart. I'm the greatest comic. I know that. But just the fact that there are people out there that do take it so seriously. I mean, you know, we're on the verge of a war. That's serious. What I do is ridiculous, you know. That's to entertain and to loosen things up, you know.
Good to hear that. It is good to hear. Andrew Dice Clay. You can catch him all over the place. Caught him live, organically, tonight. Be right back with America